A strong woman, a myth or a reality, is a collection of essays exploring the manifested concept of a strong woman in literature and, let's say, culture. Now, it delves into the archetypes, societal expectations, and realities of female strength, questioning whether the strong woman is a romanticized ordeal or a reflection of lived experiences. Welcome to Inside Today. I am Jumai Manson. Today on the program, I am being joined by Prince Victor Dixon. He is a human engineer. Do not go anywhere. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the program Inside Today. Now, we will be looking at a strong woman, a myth or a reality. And like I said before, I am being joined by a very good friend of mine. His name is Prince Victor Dixon. He is a human engineer. Now, Prince, please tell us, what does this really mean?
The strong woman. The way you sound so much interested in this topic.
Yes.
Well, the strong woman is actually one of those kind of myth, or is a perception where we place the woman under a pedestal, where there is the continuous demand on her.
Okay.
So we ask so much to the point that, and she also gets so used to being asked to the point she can't even say no, even when she's not capable. She can't even say she's tired, even when she's tired.
Yes.
Even when she's burnt out, but she can't even show it. You understand? Now, the issue is not being asked. The issue is that the woman don't know when to stop.
Oh.
That's where the problem is. So oftentimes, it's easy to allocate that strength to most women and say, oh, she's a very strong woman. But the woman you call very strong is going through a trauma. The woman you call very strong is going through stress. The woman you call very strong is going through almost a life-threatening disease. But because she has absorbed that concept that mine is to give and never receive, and so she continually giving, and giving. And like I said, oftentimes the woman comes in a box prepared as a circle, but she's consumed in triangles, like a pizza. Why so? Because you're dealing the woman and her children, the woman and her husband, the woman and her family, parents, for instance, the woman and her sister, colleagues, the woman and herself. So oftentimes that multiple dimension of demands is so much placed on her that continually the woman is just giving like an ATM, giving her emotions, giving comfort, giving support, giving encouragement, inspiration. Everything is just leaving her. And yet somehow we just feel she does not have that right to say, I've had enough. That's what the problem is.
But I want to ask a question for a woman out there who is listening and understands that she has to be strong for the family. She's like God first. The husband is there, of course, but she's like the sole pillar who has to ensure that everyone is all right. Don't you think that is a way of life that she should just absorb, move forward, and know how to balance it all?
There is no gift of God that is self-destructive. Everything God gives her, there's a balance to it. You understand? Even when you use the metaphor called pillar, even pillar has its own height. Every pillar has the kind of loads they should carry. If you put more load than that, that same pillar will break. All what we are saying is that for the strong woman is to find a balance between what she is and she can do and not doing beyond what she's capable of doing to the point of breaking herself. Because oftentimes the concern with the discussion of, the strong woman is that if a woman becomes too strong to the point that she breaks herself or to the point that she destroys herself, to the point she loses her dream, will you see call that strength? It's no longer strength. That's the concern. It means something somewhere, something has given up and she's losing a very vital component of her. So it's finding that balance. It's okay and proper for the woman to sacrifice. It's okay and proper for the woman to go that extra mile. The woman is gifted. The woman has what they call tensile strength. Tensile strength, you see it in rubber ring. You see rubber ring just small. Yeah, but at the point you draw, it can expand. But it has limits. Yeah, it does. If it goes beyond that limit, it cuts.
Yes, it does.
Fine. So the whole context is that the woman should be so self-aware to the point that she knows when her stretch has gotten to the limit. Because anything after that is death.
But when is it okay to ask for help?
When you need help.
At what point, as a woman, the African society, they've placed that particular role for the woman. An African woman is strong. An African woman is someone that even when she's back from the market or business or work, she still has to tend to the family. It's very important. She's the driver, she's the cook, she's the this, she's the that. She has to learn to balance it because in quote and unquote, God has given her that blessing of multitasking. So when is it okay at a point to say, hey, look, I am human, to a man that might not even understand what she's talking about, because two individuals might end up going out and the woman still has, instead of her to rest like the man, she'll end up going into the kitchen to do some stuff. When is it okay to say, please help me? And she won't look weak, she won't look tired, or she will not look lazy, like how people will actually term her as that.
Now, you see, you have said a lot, and so we have to unbundle it and carry it accordingly. The first thing when you say the African, it's not the African culture. Sometimes we make a mistake to project the culture of a few irresponsible people and call it the African culture. It's not the African culture to stress a woman till death. No, it's not the African culture.
But we have values, we have norms.
That's what I'm saying. There are values.
And as a woman, as a woman in that in the society in which you find ourselves, you have a responsibility to play. And these are in some minds, that's the responsibility. You must ensure everyone is all right. You must cook, you must do the needful. For as much as you want to work, you have to do all of these things, even when sometimes you are tired.
Jermaine, no.
You beg
in
to
an
differ.
Environment, yes. In an environment in a family where the woman cooks to the point she breaks down, it's not an African culture. It's just a thing that weak people decide to use to project and call it an African culture. African culture is very caring. African culture is hospitable. It is as a fact of trying to balance the rules and responsibility of everyone that African culture works in what you call the communal process, where you have a cousin, you have a niece, you have people that will just say, come and help your auntie. Why? It's because you just want to help. There must be that balance to the point of, look, she has done so much, give her this space to rest. She has done so much, this particular role and responsibility, someone else should take over. Because oftentimes we normalize irresponsibility and call it African culture. For the fact that there are men who are not sensitive even kind. Because the issue is that I have a problem when sometimes we accept unkindness as a part of culture. No, someone is simply unkind. A man that is kind should be able to know, look, this woman has been working since morning till a particular point in time. Then you tell her, please sit down and rest. So the issue oftentimes is that let's not project the misbehavior, the responsibility as African culture. My context here is this: in a place where people are responsible, where people are kind, where people are empathic, and they look at each other as humans, there's a level you reach. You are not supposed to tell me you're tired. I will see it in the way you struggle to go for the next task. Take, for instance, one of the basic place where a woman asking for help place is the issue of giving birth. I always come back there. Reason, because that's one of very, very consistent thing you can always discuss about the woman. A woman finish pushing in labor. She push, they tell you no, she has not dilated. She push how many centimeters. That's how they keep pushing until eventually. Sometimes she's in labor for like, say, 12 hours, and here she's out, the baby is out. Now, the fact that that woman is the one that bore that child, and we expect she's supposed to breastfeed that child, does not mean that the woman cannot tell the givers by the side, I'm tired. Can I just rest a little bit? And then somebody pick the baby and, be playing with the baby until she finds her feet a little bit to continue. That's what we mean the point to axe. There are points that are what they call natural breaking points. And it's human in everyone. You will see it in the woman that she has pushed to the point of breaking point. At that point in time, she has the right to say, please, my head is aching. I want to sleep off. My head is aching. I cannot do this. My head is aching. I am so tired. I am so knackered. Do you know what? Please, I may not be able to cook that soup you're expecting me to do this evening. I'll move it to tomorrow. Can you guys look for something in the meantime and balance yourself? These are natural. These are human. That's what I'm saying.
Before I go to the collection to examine societal expectations, I want to talk about a woman who has her struggles of being married to someone who is very slow to act. There's some women who they like things being done now. And then you tell your spouse or your partner, please, this bulb, can you help me change this bulb? And he's there and he sits down and says, I will change it
at my own time.
But he is there and she wants it now. And that's why most women, that's why they take up this responsibility of men and they want to do everything because he is so slow at it. You can see glaring when a woman is tired, she's knackered, like you said. But some men will sit and still tell you, please go and pound that yam, and I mean it. Or he will be so slow and she will, please change the bulb 5 times. I'm busy. I'm coming. What will you make of that scenario now?
You see, the first law of problem solving is if you name a problem properly, you solve it. In that context, we're not discussing a woman being strong. At that point, we're talking a man being responsible.
But the truth is, Victor, you have to balance it because she has a spouse, she has a partner. Because it still boils down to the man also, or to family members, or to in-laws, or
I agree.
Everything is encompassed, and that is why most women actually take up the role of men, because a man is too slow, he's not fast enough, or he's just acts with no empathy, no sympathy whatsoever, and that is why she says, oh, you can just rest, don't worry,
let me just
do it myself. And that's where you see that woman being strong by herself and for herself. Yes,
you see, that's what we call the masculinity of the woman.
Okay.
This is where we're trying to think that a woman being strong and doing everything will make a settled issue. The context is that it's breaking women. It's not a solution. A short-term solution or a reaction to a problem is not a solution. You can use it, for example, like you said, okay, it's slow, so I change the bulb. Next time it's slow, so I do. After a while, you really can, it's not sustainable for you to do everything, whether you like it or not. That's why for me, in terms of advocacy, in terms of, doing all this empowerment classes, we must be able to know the difference between when it is not asking the woman to do more that we should be discussing. It's about asking the man to do what he should do. It's not about asking the man to do more. It's about asking the man to do give everybody their sense of responsibility. I'll give you a perfect example. Okay. There's one culture you notice that is working, I won't call it a culture, I rather prefer calling it a practice so that I'll put it in perspective, is that you see a man is irresponsible and they tell you marry for him. That if you marry for that man, he said he will change. Fine. So at the end of the day, we have agreed that this character is a bundle of irresponsibility. Then you carry that irresponsibility and then put it on the shoulder of another human being that also trying to find their footing, find their identity and their voice, and tell that person to manage this fellow. Now, what I'm saying is that notice the way we switch the narrative and the problem solving. We are not telling the man, sit up. We are not telling the man you're not doing enough. We are not reminding the man that you can do more. Why are you doing this? We just created and crafted a solution to say, by the woman managing the man, it makes the woman a strong woman. So ultimately, you have carried a problem and put on the shoulder of the woman.
Exactly.
To carry a load that God didn't give her. Understand the context.
Exactly.
God didn't give that rule that a man should manage an irresponsible person. No, that was not the rule. The role wasn't even a man should manage an irresponsible woman. No. Two people were supposed to be responsible. They come together at the work. So my point of emphasis here is this. The rule and the principle is, if somebody is irresponsible, treat the person's irresponsibility. Don't think that by changing or swerving rule, things get better. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't get better. It's going to stretch you more. It's going to break you. Holding the person responsible for growth is the real deal, not for you to think I will cover it. Just like you said, okay, she changed the bulbs. After a while, she's handling the gate man, like they said. Somebody knocks on the door. It's not a man checking, it's the woman now checking. After a while, she's paying the school. After she's paying the school fees, right? After a while, she's the one now taking care of the harder things in the house. And before you realize, she's the one running the investments in the house. Before you realize, she's taking hardcore decisions in the house. Before you realize, she's now the leader in the house.
Wow.
And then after, you're now wondering why the woman is under trauma. Hello.
But let me ask you a question, Victor. For a woman who has always been soft, because that is what we portray women. They say we are the weaker sex.
There's a context to that.
Let me express myself. I'm a woman. I will say it the way I want to say it. Allow me my space.
Okay.
After I'm the anchor here. Hello.
Okay. No.
Okay, no, really, Victor, this is very serious now. A woman who has always been submissive, who has always been loving, allows the husband, gives that respect and all of that, that has values, morals, and circumstances of life, turns her into that strong woman who has to brace up, make decisions, now has to do all of this facade. Deep down, she knows that it's hard, it's tough, but the load and all of that. But yet she has to put up a brave face, not just for herself, but people behind her who looks up to her for, she's strong. But deep down, she knows. How do you paint that? Or what can she do? Or how do you see it?
Okay, number one, I like the fact that you've given a context to that. First of all, I'm a system person, so let's start from the beginning. The first thing is that most women miss one major point. A woman's greatest strength is in her choice of the man. And so if she loses that initial power, then she's going to be a victim of what comes out of the system. Have you ever wondered why they call the thing proposal? I propose to a woman. I want you to think at it from the concept of proposal. You're sitting on a chair and then they're sending you a proposal. It means that it is a woman's power to decide who eventually to follow.
True.
But oftentimes, that's where we don't pay much emphasis. That's a woman's greatest key to getting a compliment of someone that really will lead her. Meaning that make sure at the point of entry, you use your power of choice to sieve your proposal and pick the person that will lead you. That's the context. If you fail to do that, whatever you see becomes a consequence. Now we've crossed that. Then we'll enter the context you said, which is, she's okay, everything is okay, but circumstances of life changes the model now. Now she has to be strong, right? And she'll just be strong to be. What we are saying, the difference between the myth of the strong woman and actually strength. A woman needs strength, no doubt.
Or the reality.
Okay, the reality of life is that one is the capacity to understand that you can ask for help when you are tired. The capacity and the awareness to realize that you can cry when there's a need for you to cry.
Isn't that a sign of weakness?
You see, that's the issue. Now we are coming to a different ball game now. If tears is a sign of weakness, then something is wrong. Tears is never weakness. Tears is a sign of expression. You're just expressing yourself. That's all. It's not weakness. You see, this is where the societal expectation messes up the whole process. That asking for help is weakness. Crying is weakness. Saying I am tired, I need a little bit break is weakness. No, that's humanity. That is humanity. That's why sometimes when we talk about it, we get it extremely very wrong. Today we use the word, well, you have to be vulnerable. It's not about vulnerability, it's about humanity. Every human being, as long as you're mortal, you have a limit. As long as you're mortal, male or female, you have a limit. And when you get to that limit, the basic human thing you can do is ask for support. You ask for support. That's why even most women who find themselves in that kind of scenario, if they train their children well, look at their responsibility with the children, sometimes they can call even as small as 10, 15 years old, come, I am very tired. Today, you see, this week, I'm feeling so unhappy. You might see me just be quiet. I want to lazy around. Please, try to understand. I want you to cover for me. Then you'll be so shocked. You just see a child just switch the role and start doing any little thing. Leave mommy alone. She's resting. Any little, because at that point, she has communicated her humanity. And anybody, that's why it is unthinkable for you to say, in the context of what we discussed earlier, that you have a man in the house and the man cannot know when the woman is tired. Something has to be wrong.
But of course, there are homes like
there
that.
are. I'm not denying. But let's discuss from the fact that he's a broken man we're talking about here. The man has to be broken to be in that circumstances. Look, we're not talking romance here. We're talking about humanity here. Because even when you flip the table, it's the same thing too. The woman is supposed to see the man walks in, is like, oh, today was a rough day. Please sit down, let me get something for you. Is that not? So what is wrong flipping the thing to say, oh, coming and you see your wife, oh, you've been working since morning. See. I'm not eating anything heavy today. Calm down. Do you know what? I'll just take something light. Rest. Cross your legs. Do you understand? That's what one human does. That's what you do to another human being. So my context is that let's first discuss the holistic nature of being human. Then we can discuss the interaction that comes with it. The problem with us is that we try to explain broken people. People that are broken will try to explain, in a scenario like that, hello, that person is broken. Let's fix the fact this guy is broken. The man has to be broken not to see that this man is tired, not to see that she's stretched, not to see that this man is just 2 steps away from collapsing. You have to see that now. You have to be human enough to see it. And the other way, it's not a man-woman thing. No, both sides must see it. So my emphasis here is that be strong, but to the point where you're human enough to communicate that, look, I need help. I need support. I need space. Basically, that's what we're talking about here.
All right. Talking about all of this in compass now, quickly now, in just a minute. Now, a strong woman. Is it a myth or reality?
For me, it's a myth. Very, very much a myth, I've said, because the truth is that there's no one that has that unlimited strength. So if you keep stretching yourself to a very, very limited level, you will break yourself. Just at the end of the day, remember that ultimately, whatever we do, whatever responsibility you have around you, at the end of the day, everybody is a human being. And every human being have limits. And when they get to their limits, the best gift you can give them is understanding, is support, basically.
Now, my guest, Mr. Prince Victor Dickson, who is a human engineer, says the best gift you can give an individual is understanding, which is absolutely true. As a woman, it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to sit back and rest. You do not have to do every single thing all by yourself. It doesn't matter how well you can do it. Sometimes you allow that man or that individual in your life take the lead. It's very important. Be a woman. You were made to be soft, subtle, and hey, the most important thing is you asking for help when you need help. Thank you so much, Prince Victor Dickson, a human engineer and of course a consultant. Thank you so much for being a part of Insight today. All right, I am Jumai Manson, and from Prince and I, we are saying bye-bye.
Bye-bye.